when I was arrested at 17, I was completely ready to go to prison.
What inspired you to be a rapper?
I don't even see myself as a rapper. I say it all day long. I'm just an artist because I'm no genre, So for me, I guess it's a little different than other rappers. I just happen to rap sometimes.
So what has been your main motivation to start your originally unique path in music?
It's more than one answer there, but mostly it's actually because of all the diluted, polluted music that's already out there. It kind of hurts as an artist to hear what I can't say I would be proud of that is getting so much praise. So when I see that going on, it really motivates me to give people what I think is real, authentic music. You know what I mean? So that's definitely a big motivation factor. It's just kind of what's already out there, mostly on the negative side. And, the positive stuff inspires you too. But in terms of motivation to take it really serious, it's just a matter of seeing so many people that do it, and it's almost hard to believe they deserve it, but respecting your hustle. But that's it. I'd say it's just the overall movement of music these days. It's everybody wants to be a rapper, Well, for me, that's not the case. But in terms of taking it so serious, it's just like, what, if these guys are going to do this and pollute the industry and put out garbage and it gets all this glorification, then I got to take serious what I've already been doing just out of my own, and, just give it to the world.
What has been like the biggest obstacle in your life?
In terms of music, I'd say that the biggest obstacle is life. You know what I mean? It's all these distractions and it's all these other responsibilities, and it's about focusing. So that would be it.
And then like how musically now, that was general. So obstacles in like starting and creating your music.
Probably a big part of that too is about, because I'm no genre, a big obstacle for me is focusing on a genre, because I kind of shotgun my music. People don't know what to expect from me. It's hard to really, if you're in the mood for a certain kind of music, you don't even know, oh, should I listen to JM today? Because I want to, you don't kind of know. So my obstacle has been narrowing down, at least project-wise, and giving people at least an album that's mostly this genre and vice versa on other genres. So that has been an obstacle for me, is just focusing all these different inspirations for songs, and being like, what, that's gonna wait for that project, and this is gonna be on this project.
Or which song have you had the most fun or enjoyed making, like out of your like last album, let's say? Throw it out there.
You know what, I kind of, that's such a tough one, but without naming a song even, I have the most fun doing chopper style songs,
Chopper style?
And fast.
Can you explain like chopper style?
Like if you've ever listened to Tech Nine or, anybody that speed them, that it's in a lot of Eminem's verses, that's what was most fun for me, because I'm a fast thinker, and, it's fun to do and catch the beat. And a lot of people can't do it. And amazing thing about that is how many haters there are. And how many rappers, especially rappers, say, oh, he's just rapping fast, but he's not really rapping. Most of the guys that say that can't rap fast. Yeah. That's why they hate on guys that can. And then the other side of that is they say there's no bars in that. That's just fast. Well, that's the difference. If you pick out some guys like Ritz, that's just, you can hear every word and it's still faster than you swear he double timed it. Making music for me is, getting on something and just being crunk and just going as fast as I want, kind of. That's what I like to do the most. And you'll hear some of that coming up in some new releases. But if you check out the YouTube channel, JM Just Music, and you go and look at the American Scheme, it's definitely got a lot of that rhythm in it and a lot of that stylistically to that 2-minute verse. So go check that out.
Has there been a time where you wanted to give up?
I think that's kind of a an off and on switch thought that is always going to be whispering at you. Mm-hmm. Is, should I keep going? There's been times in my life where even if I didn't want to give up, maybe I wasn't set up to do it, meaning like maybe I didn't have my studio ready. And so it's whether I wanted to do music or not, I couldn't really record. I could only write or save it on a phone. And that of course made me feel like, really discouraged. And so yeah, no doubt there's been a lot of times. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to give up. But I think only one time ever did I get serious and think, almost came to acceptance with it. It was hard to make a priority, and there was almost this acceptance for about 8 months of my life where I just kind of was okay with the fact that I might not never do music again on a serious level. Everybody thinks about, should I quit? But to think I want to quit is a totally different mind frame. I've never thought ever once that I want to quit.
What keeps you motivated?
Well, the biggest motivation to actually go and do a song is to hear a good song. You know what I mean? Like, the biggest time you ever think, man, I gotta lay something down, is when you're riding in the truck and something comes on and gets you moving. That's when that's when the juices start flowing. So that's the first motivation to make a song, or keeps me motivated, is hearing other good songs from time to time. That's why influences are such a big deal. What's on your playlist? But other than that, just overall, I guess what keeps me going is just myself. The same thing that keeps me going in every area of my life. And that's going to be to prove everybody wrong. That's going to be to be the best I can be at anything that I'm doing. That's going to be to give a legacy for my daughter, you know what I mean? It's to set that example. So
what is your least proudest moment? Like, have you ever been arrested, gone to jail, anything like that?
It's funny when you use the words arrested, because there's some memories of being arrested that make me sick to my stomach, and then there's other memories of being arrested that I don't really feel so bad about. You know what I mean? And then there's, there's parts of my life where I felt a lot worse over that and I didn't even get arrested. So I guess where I've kind of felt at my lowest is any time that I felt like I did somebody wrong. It's not necessarily about me being a failure at something that I've attempted, or, if my music ain't popping or this song ain't catching like it's supposed to, that kind of stuff's never put me down. Anything like hurting another person. But, at an early age, when I was arrested a few times, and the most shameful time, what haunts me about it to this day, the reason why it's a regret today, is because I know those people still remember. They have to think about it, what I did, and now because of that, they have to go to bed wondering, is somebody else going to do that? Is that going to happen to me again? So that's always been my biggest regret, is hurting somebody without being to reconcile. And that's important stuff to kind of put out in the music too. Is you can share it. You've been at a bad spot, but it's also more important to bring back how you can be positive on it. And just without giving you too much detail, as far as that goes, when I was arrested at 17, I was completely ready to go to prison. Like, when I went to jail, I wasn't thinking, oh, I can't wait to get out of here. Oh, I don't want to be in jail. I was sitting in there literally thinking, I deserve this. I know what I did.
So talk more about what happened when you were younger. You were 17, kid, kids do stupid stuff. Why did this affect you so much?
It's really hard for me to admit. It's really hard for me to say what I was doing. We started out, we would hit licks on other D-boys or other people that was selling drugs, and we would fucking take people's shit, whether it be right up in their house and do it, or out their car, or whatever. I was a 17-year-old punk, but where it really got bad was then where it got to the point where we started robbing houses because we needed food to eat. Like, we started robbing houses because it was the only way I was making money, and that was the most shameful thing I've ever done. And anyone I ever did in that area, if they was able to see me and they put a gun to my head, I wouldn't even stop them. I wish, that just didn't happen. I wish that, I came up with reasons to justify it back then, why it was not that big a deal, but it was just the shittiest thing I've ever done. And it's hard to forget about because you got to live with it,
So now, on a brighter note, what are we looking at now with our goals, and then what do we want for the future?
Okay, well, right now it's to give the people what they want in a way, but it's really to introduce myself to the world. So JM, Just Music, the page, the ultimate goal right now is to get everybody consistent material. So what I got versatile verses for you. That's 2-minute verses that we drop on a monthly basis. So that's the first step, is giving everybody more content. I got 1 million songs nobody's ever heard. I can't wait for people to start hearing them. And so that's first step. Give you what I got. Give you the content. Give you the songs. Give you the music. give you the videos, get into videos, follow us, and you'll see you got opportunities to get in. So, that's right now. That's immediate. It's pretty straightforward.
So, what's in store next?
All
What's
right.
coming?
Yeah. Well, I think right away, depending on when you check out this video, when we drop this, we got 2 of the most official music videos going to be released on JM's Just Music. Everything up to this point has kind of been, house projects, for lack of a better term. But we're going to be bringing you full-fledged productions next. So I've got my favorite coming out. I'm going to go ahead and give you the name, Adrenaline. And that goes back to some things I was telling you earlier. It's complete chopper style, start to finish. And then next to that is, I'm going to give out some full-fledged projects. Can't give away too much. Just keep following us.
Do you have any pet peeves when working in the studio?
I think that outside of the studio, I got more pet peeves than I do inside of the studio. But I'd say that a really obvious one for me, a no-no, something you don't do, something that I take real serious, is when anybody else, this has happened to me in the studio before, I wouldn't tell you this. All right, it happens outside the studio, but in the studio is when I flip. If somebody in the studio, hey man, did you see this? Hey, listen to Jelly Roll's new song. You heard it, man? If you come into my studio, and I love Jelly Roll, but if you come into my studio and you try to show me another artist track, it's like slapping me in the face, kicking me in the nuts at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my biggest pet peeve is somebody in the studio that's really not focused on us in the studio. And they want to talk about what other people are doing or other artists or other songs. There's one way to do that, but then it's a different thing to advertise somebody else and to get inspiration from somebody else. And so that's my biggest pet peeve is thinking about being a fan in the studio instead of an artist in the studio. That's my biggest. That's one thing I can't stand in the studio. That's probably a more rare instance, but that's an honest answer.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. So, based off that, so what is your creative process like?
But for my truest songs, the ones I think that are the most authentic, the lyrics are there before the beat. Because lyrics just come to my head that I have to get out. So that's a different process. So that would be a matter of, is kind of just spitting some words out loud, some lyrics out loud, and without trying to do it a certain way, just whatever it says to you, that tells you the style that it is. It tells you the flow that it is. So the process is it's like a cappella karaoke. You know what I mean? Sometimes I might be in there and just start singing crazy, and then like, maybe I need to do that slow, maybe I need to do that fast. So it's kind of a trial and error, experimental things. It's either searching through tracks or whatnot. But I can tell you the old routine was, we had to get our mind right sometimes, get ready, you know what I mean? And it's all about environment. So in a good creative process in the studio, you got people that are like-minded, chilling with you, that ain't talking about the news. You know what I mean? And that's a good creative process, because when you're ready to do some music, it's not supposed to be hard. And I don't mean not go hard. I mean, it's not supposed to be a difficult process.
Is your creative process, is it a long process, or you're just going with the flow?
The best songs you'll ever make are the fastest songs you'll ever make.
The fastest, okay.
Like, and the ones that felt like it was too easy, or the best. Social Media coming out soon, actually. I felt like we just one-taked everything. We found a beat in 3 tries. The only thing, but we had some background work before that. Shout out West Angel, because there was some co-writing on that, and the idea and everything. So we had some verbiage, some lyrics here already. But when it came down time to get in the studio, man, we just went in there and did it. Picked the beat, laid it down. So the best songs you'll ever make are the fastest songs you'll ever make. If it takes you a long time, if it's long and drawn out, you're going to lose all the emotion, all the hype, almost every time, guaranteed. So it's time to move on.
So how do you want to be remembered?
So I want to be remembered as that guy that came in as an entrepreneur, and when people think of me, I might hurt my brand as an artist just musically to think of me that way, but it's the truth, though, is that when they think of JM, man, that's a real entrepreneur, and he's doing everything. It goes deeper. It goes deeper. If I could be remembered like that, that'd be a mission accomplished.